Now, as I said, if I haven't said it previously, I want to reiterate it again for this video. This is going to be my second male wolf commentary. And I want to talk about Mgtow. Mgtow, a lot of you guys don't realize this, but a lot of you, especially you black dudes who follow Mgtow, y'all don't realize that Mgtow, for all intents and purposes, really is a elitist white male boys club. Okay, you know, a lot of their ideology, when you really think about it, when you really look at it, is geared towards elitist white males. Okay, Sandman, who is the biggest Mgtow on YouTube. Okay. Sandman essentially lives a very, at least financially, he's pretty well off. I mean, dude owns his own business, owns his own photography business. You know what I mean? Has been very successful. That whole type of thing. That's all great and well and good. I'm not knocking that. Okay. But it's the same, you know, a lot of these guys, a lot of the guys that write into him, and I used to listen, I've listened to Sandman off and on the last 5 years, you know, through the years, the last few years. But one thing I noticed is a lot of the people who write to him, they tend to either be like upper middle class white males or upper middle class like foreigners, like Middle Easterners, or a lot of times even Asians, you know, people from Asia, China, Japan, that whole type of thing, and things like that. And I always noticed that whenever they would talk about their problems and their issues and whatnot, you know what I mean, they would, you know, you could tell what background these guys were coming from. You could also tell what these guys' political kind of slant is. You know, a lot of them are kind of on the right, you know, when their political views, you can kind of tell what their upbringing was. A lot of them, if they weren't middle class, it was kind of obvious. A lot of them were upper middle class to me, you know, and I'm not knocking that, but as male wolves and as black men, you know, is that, you know, really the kind of audience that we have the ability to relate to? You know what I mean? Because I think for a long time, I think these black dudes thought that, you know, Sandman was making these videos for all men. Okay? And I don't think that was ever truly, really, you know, ever the case. You know, I don't think Sandman ever made his videos and his commentaries, you know what I mean, for all men. I think that his videos and his commentaries were always for what I would refer to as a sort of kind of like a select group of men or an elite group of men. Okay. Another thing a theme that I notice is a lot of these white guys that follow Mgtow, you know, their real issue is that they don't have control and dominion over the white women anymore. And that's another issue. Okay. And, you know, now they will cite feminism and stuff like that and all this and that, but they will never admit to the fact that it was white male legislators, elitist white male legislators in history who allowed for all of these feminist initiatives and laws to get passed. You know, Theodore Roosevelt allowing women to vote. Okay. And that whole type of thing. and whatnot. It's you know, not just that, but also no fault divorce and all these other laws and you know, that came down from for the government, you know, the welfare and all that type of stuff. These divorce laws that over time strengthened the position of women in regards to the state and weakened the position of men. It was white males that were at the controls when all that happened. Okay? You know what I mean? Feminism did not rise to power without white males allowing it to rise to power, but you know, for the longest time, a lot of these guys, they either didn't talk, you know, these white guys, they either didn't talk about it, they didn't mention it, you know, that they left it alone. They, you know, it wasn't until black men, you know, started calling it out, you know. And then also the racial issue, because a lot of these white guys who are complaining about feminism and stuff, these are the same white guys who will get pissed off when they see your black ass flirt with a white chick at a club, or dancing with a white chick at a club or something. That's just the reality. It's the same Chinese dude or Asian, you know, people who may have issues with black men being with their women, or these Middle Eastern men or whatever, men from these other cultures who have issues with black men being with their men, or being with their women, I'm sorry, and whatnot, you know. So there was always a racial undertone. I remember a couple of years ago seeing I Am Ball. He was one of the first to really call out a lot of the racism in Mgtow. And I remember I Am Ball used to call that out very explicitly. And you know, eventually enough black men realized, until finally black men, a lot of black men, a contingent of black men, if you will, left Mgtow and they went and formed Ibmore. Okay. But like I said, a lot of these elitist Mgtow white males, they have those types of views. You know, they believe that you know, they have issues with black men being with non-black women. Specifically, a lot of times, if it's women from their particular race, they have issues with that. Okay. And you don't realize, you think that they're just railing against the feminism stuff. They're not just railing against that, they're railing against the fact that white women are now exercising their ability to go out and swirl and interracially date as well. That is a huge issue for them. Okay, that they no longer have control and dominion over their women like that. That they can't, you know, tell her what to do and regulate her behavior like that. That bothers them because they have a mentality where they feel they always have to be in control. You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, you know, that's been out. First of all, I was never a Mgtow, ever, period. Even when Mgtow first came out, I wanted no part of it. Okay, I did join Ibmore for a brief period when Ibmore got created. Okay, but then after a short period of time, I realized that even Ibmore wasn't sufficient to satisfy it wasn't sufficient to satisfy my views and how I felt about things, about you know, these issues and stuff with women. I didn't get that until just recently, until Wohf came along. Once Wohf came along, it was like night and day. You know, Wohf ended up being the ideology for me. Okay, it ended up being the ideology that facilitated my, you know, most of what I believed and what I stood for. So once Wohf came out, I was fine just being a wolf and not really worrying about what the Ibmore and the Mgtows did. And that's really all I gotta say on that. Now, y'all can get the likes up, leave comments, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video off for now. That's my opinion on this for now. But peace.